What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. I hope everybody's staying safe and doing well out there. Today we're going to talk about something on the channel that I don't believe I've ever mentioned, but a massive part of kind of shaped who I am today, a massive part of my life, but something I don't openly talk about just with anybody. But I'm going to share on my channel to a bunch of strangers, but I like whoever watches the channel, so thank you very much. What I want to talk about today is my struggle and my journey with dealing with obsessive compulsive disorder. Luckily in my life, that's the only kind of thing that I've dealt with, being mental health wise. It's the only thing that I've had to struggle with, and it crept up on me quick. So I'll take you kind of down the road, the full story of how I feel like it happened, what happened during, and kind of how I conquered that, and how I today don't deal with that at all. Basically around 2008, I believe, maybe 2009, I had I think I was like 19 years old. I had a big breakup with one of my childhood girlfriends who I'd been with for like 3 years, and then around that same time, kind of the childhood group of friends that I hung around with for 5 to 7 years consecutively every day, we kind of just, as like childhood friends do, grew apart. That almost happened within the same week. I'm not sure why that happened like that, but it did. So breaking up with my ex and then losing my friends basically, and kind of all of us going our different way, and at the time I just thought that's what it is, that's kind of where we're at. I didn't know how much mentally that would affect me, in the terms of a lot of times when OCD starts is because of massive life changes, and you start to question, what have I done personally to make those things change? What have I done to affect those bad things happening? And is it all my fault? How could have I done it better next time? How do I ensure that I don't get hurt next time? And that's what I did. I kind of spiraled into this thing. At the time I didn't know anything about OCD or anything about that, or even what it was, but I found myself doing these repetitive things. It started with turning lights on and off, then it started with kind of walking up and down stairs. I know if you suffer with OCD, then it doesn't sound silly, but that at the time it started with minimal things in my life, trying to control everything to make sure that I wasn't hurt again. Mentally, my mind was just trying to protect myself consistently, to make sure that, one, I wasn't going to lose something that I held dearly, and then I wasn't going to kind of, again, get hurt again. That was what my mind was doing, and that consistently grew and grew and grew and got worse and worse and worse. I didn't explain that to any of my friends, I didn't explain that to any of my family, but they definitely noticed the symptoms. I remember my mum kind of seeing me walking up and down a flight of stairs once and kind of questioning what I'm doing, and I kind of brushed it off. I'd count to certain numbers, I'd do things like that that became obsessive, but in my mind at the time I needed to do those to be able to protect myself. If I do this action, then this won't happen. Obviously not the case. Obviously everything you think in your brain doesn't always manifest out to the real world, and you can't control everything. That's kind of almost a beauty of life, is kind of you can't control everything, and it's realizing that you just gotta flow with it, you just gotta go and deal with it. So that kind of went on for a decent kind of 2 to 3 years where I didn't tell anybody, and I was struggling. I remember one time walking to the doctors, and even up then I was walking up the street to go to the doctors, and I explained that to the doctor, and she said she didn't know what it is. She didn't know what I'm explaining. Based off my own research, it sounded a lot like OCD. I explained to her that I've just walked up here and I walked past the same streetlight lamppost 3 times as a compulsive disorder, because I need to do it a certain amount of times. And prior to any of this, I've never had any mental health issues. So there's something going on that's making me having to do these things. The doctor wasn't very helpful at all in the terms that she said she didn't know what it was. As a physician, I probably do believe she knows what it was. But in hindsight, I am thankful that she didn't put me on any medication. She didn't follow up further, and I kind of had to deal with it myself. Not that there's anything wrong with medication, not that there's anything bad about it, but for me, I'm glad that I kind of had to go through the thick of it to overcome it, to become a stronger person for me. That's my personal journey. So with the doctor kind of neglecting that and not giving me kind of any answers or any kind of comfort or, again, medication, which in hindsight I didn't, I'm glad that happened. I started to, again, spiral and just do these things. People at work started to notice things, and just it's something I couldn't control. But with that, I started to almost test my OCD. Started to do the things that I was challenging myself that, oh, if I don't do this, then that will happen. Okay, let's do that. Let's see if that happens. And even then, that was very tough in my mind, because I was like, it's gonna, people, I'd even make tricks in my head, and I'd be like, oh, people are gonna see me in a certain way, in a certain light that I can't control, because I can't control how people see me if I do this way. But I had to kind of confront that and be like, okay, this is what's gonna happen, then this is what's gonna happen. Life goes on, I can't control it. I am not that special, my brain is not that special to be able to control everything that goes on. So let's just deal with it, go through it. If this happens, then this happens. Then we deal with it. And over time, thinking like that, allowing the thoughts to come, almost like meditation, because a lot of the time I would block thoughts off so I didn't have to deal with the compulsions. And that wasn't healthy, because when I wanted to think about something, I love to think, I love to explore my mind and explore different things, researching. That wouldn't come, because I was trying to block anything coming in. But what I did was I allowed thoughts to come in, like I said, like meditation, and then just deal with it. Or ignore those thoughts. Just be like, okay, cool, okay. And that's what I do now. If I have anxiety, if I have OCD, I acknowledge the thought that's coming to my head. I acknowledge that it's there, and I say, okay, thank you, perfect. And I know that's not the case. If I don't do this, then this will happen. I know it's not just as simple as that for some people. I know people struggle in way more complex ways and way more different ways. But that was my kind of journey, and I'm lucky today that I don't deal with OCD at all. And even if I do feel like a little thing coming in my head, I kind of, okay, perfect, cool. And mentally, that's made me a stronger person going forward. I was at first embarrassed to talk about it. I was ashamed to talk about it. I feel like in the UK, mental health isn't openly talked about as much as it should be, especially with guys. But I'm now proud to say that I can speak about it. I fully, in my mind, overcome it, and I can deal that, and it's actually helped me in other circumstances when I overthink, when I allow my mind to wander, reining that in, or just allowing thoughts to come in as well, and just dealing with that and knowing that life always takes its course. I can't control it, and just enjoying the ride, if you will say. But yeah, that's my journey, guys. The reason why I do these videos is to get you guys to comment below so we can talk. I can get to know your stories from around the world. I've said before, that's the coolest thing about social media, in my opinion, is getting to know different people that you wouldn't normally talk to on a daily basis. The battery is gonna die on the camera, but I think I've got across everything that I wanted to. Thank you for watching so much, guys. If you guys want to chat, I'm always open. Comment below. Like this video, of course, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.